That I was so moved that I forgot to say thank you to everyone that joined the tour. I'm sorry. So I really want to thank you all that joined, the ones that made it from very far, and also, of course, our friends from Jolán, that I really appreciate all what you do since the very beginning, since the first time we came here until now, and hopefully it's not finished, our collaboration. So thank you really everyone. And now we are going to sign, in fact, to take you in the other side. We stop here just because this is what people, when they drive, this is what they see from Mansoura. But as you know, there is no sign here indicating that this was Mansoura. So we just prepared some very modest signs in Arabic, Hebrew, English, and Circassian. And we are going to tie them to this marble here, in order to be seen, hopefully, from the road when people are driving. So if someone wants to
maybe
sign.
you can say something about these letters. I think a little bit just some introduction. It's Russian, not Russian.
So this is in Circassian language. Circassian is an oral tradition society, so they didn't have written alphabet until the 60s, when the Russians decided to educate them, like as a good colonialist project. So my father taught me how to write and read in Circassian. Actually, I speak very, very bad, but I can read and write it. So I wrote here Mansoura, Circassian village until 67. And you will see that maybe some of you that can read Russian would be able to read it. It's not written Circassian, it's written Adige, because Adige is the self-denomination. It's how Circassians call themselves. In fact, Sharkas in Arabic or Cherkesim in Hebrew or Circassian in English, it's the way the others are calling us. But we ourselves are calling ourselves Adigan people, and we even define ourselves by the tribe, as I told you. So my father would always say that he's a Abzar. And Circassian is the term that we use.
Abzar, Adigia.
Is Adiga Abzar. And he will use Circassian when he will talk to people, because very little people know about Circassian, but even less people know about Adiga. So it's something that they will use, for example, in Kfar Kama or in Rihania. Outside, they define themselves as Circassian village, Circassian heritage, but inside they call themselves Adiga. So it's written Adigan village until 67.
So it's not exactly Russian, right?
No, it's not Russian.
It's not exactly
the alphabet is a Cyrillic.
Yes,
yeah, but you have some signs that do not exist also in Russian. So there.
Oh, really north. I'm Mansour.
I heard some stories about my ancestors. They shared the battlefield, and part of them didn't came back to Majd al-Shams. They didn't come back there. And they still burned here by the Circassians. And I also have the documents. I told the agent that I want to give that my grandfather wrote on something like my the end of the 18th century. So he wrote like a document about what
of 19th century.
Yeah.
1890 something. 19th century.
No, it's the end of the 18th century.
Because if your grandfather, you must be 150 years old.
Yeah.
So it's
لا 1800 وبعد ال 90 1800 بين ال 94 لل
It's about the battle here. Like if you read it, you can get into the details you can also hear the screaming of the horses. That he wrote about the horses, about the battle, about like every little detail about that battle. And lately I heard from Eitan and Eleanor that my grandfather, that's still missed till now, he buried here. So that's the story.
But he was a Druze.
Yes, sure.
But if he was killed in that battle, how did he have time to write about it? Or I don't.
No, he's not the same one who wrote it. Yeah.
The writer was younger than him.
That's it.
Somebody
Very dear to me and very dear to my father. And the first time I came, the second time I came in Majd al-Shams with Eitan, we were invited by your family. My grandfather was on his horse when he fell, and he fell near Majd al-Shams, and he broke his back. He broke his back and he could not move for 3 months, and he was hosted by your family. So there was a kind of pact of friendship and of non-aggression between our families, because as I said yesterday, minorities were not in the best terms here around. So the first time my father heard we were coming to Majd al-Shams, I can tell you that even before we told him about Mansoura, even before for him what was the most important is that we will find the Kunj family. So he asked us, he gave us a letter that he wrote in Arabic, because my father writes everything by hand, he cannot type on the computer. So he wrote a very beautiful letter that he asked me to give to your family. And I still remember how moving it was for me to be hosted by your family. And I think they were also moved. And it was a very important moment for me, because I understood very quickly how people in Majd al-Shams were welcoming me as okay, it's maybe exaggerated to say one of them, but as someone from here. And I really want to thank you, because I know it's for me it's amazing also symbol that we are standing here, you and me, on what is probably a collective grave, and to pay homage together to our grandparents. And I'm really thankful that you are here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming back. Thank you, everybody.
We will take a piece now.
It's a hug about like coming back.
Okay, we want to post some signs here also to indicate.
Friends, so here we are on what used to be the house of my father. Hello. And what you see on the ground is the traces of what we did 3 weeks ago, Eitan and I. We marked, according to a scheme drawn by Farouk, we drew the scheme of his house on the ground. So now it's a bit, we are going to fix it quickly. Zeo, I explain what we are doing?
No? Can.
And now we are going to ask you to contribute, because we are going to give you gloves for the ones that don't have, and we are going to take stones from around and mark the scheme of the house all around with some stones that we believe belongs maybe to his house or to neighbor house. So what we are doing now is that symbolically we are rebuilding the house of Farouk. We are building it together. Eitan, you want to say something about it?
If you have gloves, it's time to use gloves, but we have also gloves to give you. כפפות יש לנו.
אני כבר כואב לי הגב.
אוי, איתן, זה יופי.
איתן, זה אבן פינה של הבית.
תפדל.
תפדלו. תגידו על-אסלאם ואל-חג.
זהו. Other memories that he shared with us. So while we are rebuilding or putting the stones of his house, we can hear to some of his memories.